we're back. We're back with our Dollar Tree haul, and on my way home I did stop at Aldi's to see if they had any garden soil. They don't have any yet, not at mine anyway. So you're probably going to want to get soil elsewhere. So the soil part is not in the 20 bucks, okay? And I did run, like, I think it was $2.50 over because I got 2 extra items, and I'll show you those in just a moment. So what I got. So first of all, to grow plants need a few things. They need living soil, meaning it has nutrients in it. They don't grow in dirt that has not been cared for. They need living soil, healthy soil. And so that's why when we container garden, we typically will get a container garden mix that you can find. You'll also see container, raised bed gardens, potting soil, things like that. So any of those will work for your container. So I want to show you the containers that I found at Dollar Tree. One of them is a little bit bigger and it costs a little bit more. Most everything at Dollar Tree costs $1.25, with exception to their garden seeds. They are for $4. And they have a couple bigger items that can range. I think the highest I saw was $3. So let me show you what I got. So to grow our plants, we need a good soil. We need to have a way to water our plants. So I got this. This is a waterer, okay? Because yes, we definitely want rainwater. Rainwater has nitrogen in it, which naturally will feed your plants and help them green up. But a lot of times we will go many days and not have any rain, and when you container garden, it dries out really quickly, and that can put stress on your plants. We don't want our plants stressed. We want our plants happy. So to have happy plants, we want to make sure that they're getting enough water but not too much water, okay? So we have to kind of watch it and feel in our soil and see if it feels damp and moist, then we probably don't need to water that day. If it feels really dry and it looks like the soil is cracking and things, it needs to be watered, and we would put some water on it. The other thing I got was, this is called a garden spade. I liked this one. I don't know if it'll show up, but it actually shows you inches for when you are planting seeds. They will usually tell you how many inches deep or centimeters it needs to be planted. The typical rule of thumb is however big the seed is, like a pumpkin seed, you would plant it that deep. For like a carrot seed, you barely plant it at all, okay? So, but I got one of these. Plus, these are great when you start harvesting things. These can be very helpful. So they had this, so I got this. So we have our water, our garden spade. I got some garden gloves because every gardener needs to have some gloves that they can put on when they are, if you do get some weeds you may have to pull, but also just sometimes being in the creepy crawly things, maybe if you get some ants or something in your garden, you might prefer to have gloves on in case those ants want to take a bite, you know, because then you're protected. This was a splurge. You don't have to have this. This is a kneeling pad. This is like if you're sitting down, you can sit on it, you can put your knees on it. And these can be really helpful in the garden when you're harvesting things and when you're planting things. So I went ahead and picked one of those up. Then I got some garden tags so we can label what our items are that we are going to put in our garden. I got a couple different containers. So this was a yellow flower pot. Now the only thing, if you notice on this, you can see my hand here, there's no holes. So you don't want to drown your plants. So you have to put holes. And this is where I said you were gonna have to have a tool so that you can make your pots work. Now if you go somewhere different than Dollar Tree to get your plants, like if you were to go to Target, I did go to Target a few weeks back and I got a couple of these planters, and if you can see, they already had the hole taken out. And to be honest, they probably should have put more than just one hole, but that's what it came with. And I just wanted to put some flowers in these, and I thought they were pretty. So, but that planter cost, it was at the $5 bin at Target. So, I have a drill. This is my husband's drill. This is a drill bit. This is not something you do. You get mom or dad to do this with you or to help you. But there's little indentions on here where you need to drill holes.
Wait 1 second. I just made a big mistake, a big safety mistake. I should have had on some kind of eye protection before I started drilling holes. So it's always important if you're using tools or anything like that that you are using some safety goggles, something to protect your eyes. That was a big no-no, and I just want to make sure I clear that up.
Okay, so we have all of our holes pre-drilled into these. This worked out great. I highly recommend these from the Dollar Tree. And I highly recommend this size one from the Dollar Tree as well. This one did really well with the drill. This one, not so much. It broke. And if you can see, we have a big hole on the bottom, which means that's a pretty good size hole. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put something over it, probably a little piece of fabric or something, because that won't hurt our plants, and I'll make sure that our other holes are still able to drain out water so that we can still use it. So just know, if you get the big size planter, which you do need to have a big size planter for one of the things we're going to grow, and also if you're going to do a tomato plant, I did not get tomato seeds because you can't start those from seeds. Direct sowing them, you have to do that like 6 to 8 weeks before, and it's kind of a lengthy process. And at the time of year we're at, it would be better just to get a grown tomato plant start and plant your favorite variety of tomato. It would probably also be cheaper. So, but you're gonna have to have a couple bigger containers like this. This was disappointing, Dollar Tree, but you live, you learn, and we'll make it work. So, the other thing I got that's gonna go with this big planter is this. You can see this. This is called a trellis, because one of the ways that when we container plant that you can grow food is by trellising, growing your food vertically. Vertically means going up, like we're pointing up to the sky. That will actually help give air to our plants so that we get more fruit, more food for us to enjoy. And there's a lot of plants and flowers and things that really enjoy a trellis. So they had these, so I picked one of these up. This was $1.25. And once the soil is in this pot, we will stick this in there. And when our plant comes up that we're going to grow that wants to trellis, we're going to use this other item I got, which are some clips. Now these clips are very helpful when you are growing things like tomatoes, cucumbers, anything that's kind of vining. These are very helpful, and this was a great buy. I have actually been to garden centers where I paid a lot more and got a lot less of these. This is a 20-piece kit, and there's different sizes. There's little ones and there's big ones, and I'll show you what this looks like. So see, it will clamp your plant when it starts growing and you're trying to teach it to go up, to grow up, not on the ground. You will clamp your plant to the trellis or up here. As it grows, you can go up higher on the trellis. So these are very helpful. So I got those on my haul. That was $1.20. Like I said, for 20 of them, I got was $1.25. Woo! So we're gonna see who has the. We're gonna figure out who's keeping up with the math. All right. So the next thing that I got were our seeds. They sell seeds for 4 packs for $1. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs of seeds. So this was $1.50 in seeds. And so I picked a couple of things. Like I said, I picked things that we could sow in the soil and water, and they'll germinate and they will grow up just from us planting it in our containers. They don't need any kind of special anything else. So that was my thinking when I picked these plants. These are also for warmer weather because we're in spring now, and then we'll head to summer. So I picked, for the trellising one, so that you know, I picked a cucumber. So if you like to eat cucumbers, or you like pickles, or you want to make your own pickles, I make my own pickles. A cucumber. And a cucumber, my grandmother taught me this, because a lot of people let their cucumbers just sprawl out all over the ground, and they just keep going and going and going, and you can totally do that. But my grandmother taught me they typically won't get as much disease, and you'll get more fruit, and it won't have bugs, usually won't have bugs and stuff in it, if you trellis them up. So when they start growing, you take the little clips and you help clip it up so that it will grow, and it can come out the other side. So this is going to be our trellising vegetable. The other thing, when we do that, we have more space to plant other things in our garden in here. So I got us cucumbers.
Picture, this is what trellising cucumbers look like. And if they grow up, then that's vertical growing.
For this big pot were carrots. And one of the reasons I got carrots, one, they're very good for you. Most kids and people like carrots, either raw or cooked, or maybe in salads, make a carrot salad or something like that. And I can promise you, there is nothing like a homegrown carrot. Now, the one thing about carrots is the seeds are teeny tiny. So when they start growing, as they get big enough, we may have to go in and kind of, it's called a thinning out, so that we have to make enough room for the carrot to have enough room to grow, so that it's a big carrot and not a teeny tiny carrot that gets wrapped in with other teeny tiny carrots. So when we get to that, I'll show you that as they grow this garden season, okay? But I got carrots, and one of the other reasons I got carrots are because as our cucumbers grow and get taller than our carrots are a root vegetable. They're going to grow down into the soil, and they'll have green leafy tops, which, guess what? You can eat those green leafy tops. They're actually really healthy for you, and they taste good in a salad. But as this grows up, this can kind of shade your carrots, because as it gets hotter in the summer, carrots don't necessarily like it that hot. So if they have a little shade tucked behind those cucumbers, they're gonna really like that and grow really well. The other one I got is a quick grower, and it's radishes. I love radishes. Radishes are super good for you. They are full of B vitamins, which we need. B vitamins are what give us energy and make us feel like $1,000,000. Like, we feel great when we have a lot of B vitamins. So, and a lot of times we don't have enough B vitamins. And so radishes are a good way to get that. These grow pretty quick. Usually within about 40-45 days, you can have radishes, from planting it in the ground to pulling it out of the ground, washing them off, and eating them. And the neat thing about radishes is you can also eat the greens of the radish. You can put it in a salad, mix it in, and they're very tasty. I can tell you, my chickens they actually love the radish greens, and they also really like the carrot greens. So a lot of times I let them have those parts, because then they make super yummy eggs for me. So it's a win-win. But you can eat them, and they do taste good. I've eaten them. All right, so I've got those. Then for our stackable garden that stacks like this, that's so cool, I bought green beans. These are green bush beans. So if you look on the picture, one plant is going to give you a lot of green beans like that. But if you have a family, you've got to have several plants so that you can make a meal. So that's why I got this container, because then we can plant green beans, one plant in each one, and going all the way down, and we can have a green bean feast later this summer. And green beans are probably one of the easiest ones to grow. The one thing about green beans to know though is you want to soak your beans for at least a couple hours before you plant them. You can soak them overnight, that's even better. And then you just put them in the soil, and next thing you'll know, they'll pop up. You'll start to see them, and they'll grow, and then they'll get flowers, which brings me to when we get flowers, we have to have something else in our garden. We have to have pollinators. Pollinators are bees. They can be, sometimes they can be bats. The bats are good, not necessarily for pollinating, but the bats are good for eating some of the bad insects you don't want in your garden. Also, hummingbirds and butterflies. Those are all pollinators that you want in your garden. They're going to help pollinate your different plants, your fruits, so that you get food that you can eat from your garden. So some ways to attract pollinators are by planting flowers. So I picked a couple flowers that are very easy to grow from seed. The first one is a zinnia. And if you can see, this is a mix, so it has all the different pretty colors. And the neat thing about zinnias is once they start blooming, they're gonna bloom all the way until it freezes next fall. So these will last the whole season, and they're really pretty. They're also pretty to cut and put in vases and little mason jars and put on your table or your kitchen counter. So these have a lot of purposes. This is the other flower I picked, which is a marigold. Now marigolds stink. They don't smell very good, but the bees love them, and a lot of pests don't like that they stink. So they don't really want to come around where these are planted. So these are good to plant around your garden, next to your vegetables. It won't hurt anything. So these are good, and these also will grow until it freezes next fall. I got one other kind of flower, and that is a hummingbird flower. Hummingbirds do amazing things in your garden, and they also they like bats. They eat a lot of things that we may not like that make us itchy, called mosquitoes. So they're like really great to have them come to your garden and munch out on those things while pollinating and making more food for you to eat. So I got this hummingbird blend, and it's got all these different wildflowers that they like. So I thought we could do our hummingbird one in the big yellow pot, and I thought some of the marigolds and the zinnias we could plant in some of around in our green bean stackable garden. I thought that, and we might even stick one in our big pot as well. So I got this for the hummingbirds, but I got something else because the hummingbirds, if you live in North America, the hummingbirds are migrating north. They're actually in South Georgia right now, and they're going to come up. So they've been in Florida. They're making their way through Georgia and the Carolinas, and they're going to work their way all the way up to Canada. And so I found two more items, and this is where I busted my budget. I went a little over. Hummingbirds love the color red. And so I got a little hummingbird feeder, and I got the stuff to make the nectar that goes inside the feeder here that is safe to feed hummingbirds. And I'm going to show you in a different video when we do our hummingbird, when we plant up our hummingbird pot, and we are going to make our hummingbird waterer. I'm going to do that separate so our videos aren't too long. So that is my Dollar Tree garden haul that I went with my $20. So I think I actually spent, I think it came out with tax, it was close to $23 for all of these things. And again, I'll show you how we can fix this big one where it broke when I did the drill. It might not have broke if I would have had a smaller drill bit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't feel like it's great quality. But the other ones did great. So anyway, You can find these things at your local Dollar Tree, and that I will say these are the most affordable that I've seen anywhere else. So I hope that you will go out to your Dollar Tree. First of all, that you'll be nice and talk to mom and dad about planting your own garden, and that you want to take ownership of it and you want to take responsibility for it, and maybe even do some chores around the house to help earn that $20. Wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't know, maybe helping mom fold some laundry, or unloading the dishwasher, or helping load it after dinner, stuff like that, you know. If you have a pet, maybe, I don't know, feeding the dog, something like that, or taking the trash out, doing things like that. You can take some ownership and help earn that money, and show you guys how to get soil. I'm going to show you how to fix the hole in case you have that happen to you too. Then we're going to plant, we're going to put soil in all of our containers, and then I'm going to show you how to plant the seeds and talk about how to know how to plant the seeds, because seeds are different sizes and sometimes they have a little bit different rules, and I'll talk about that. And then we'll get them watered in, and we will watch them grow, and I'm going to keep a log of it, and I'll do some updated videos as they grow and show you how to do things along in this series. If you're older and you're watching this, thank you. I really wanted to do this, like I said, for the younger folks who watch my videos and my channel, because I want to encourage them. That is where my heart is. And so, like I said, when I got the comment that I did, I thought this would make a great video, and this could be beneficial to a lot of kids. And so I hope it's received well. So anyway, with that, if you found value in this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a member of my channel, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. My channel is a family-friendly channel. We do cook, we do garden a lot. Sometimes you will see chickens, and a lot of times you will see puppy dogs, as they are a big part of my life. And a lot of times you get some fun encouragement. So anyway, with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow when we get to planting our little garden here, and so that you can plant your garden in your wherever spot, whether it is on your porch, if it's in your front yard, if it's in a flower bed, if it's in the backyard, or if you're like my friend who has puppies that potty in the backyard, then you might want to put it in a sunny spot in the front yard. So I will see you tomorrow, and we will get busy on planting a garden. Bye.